Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an advanced Dungeons and Dragons advice video, and I had a friend of mine ask me about this the other day, so I figured I'd do this. I'm doing this one on political plots. If you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you'd hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on social media, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there. I like to think I write good stories that make you think. Lately, I have not been doing as many videos as I used to. The reason being, I've been trying to concentrate on some book projects to get them done. The latest of these book projects is the actual tabletop role-playing game Outlaw Trails. I've been doing stories about this forever on my channel. Outlaw Trails is a homemade tabletop role-playing game about the Old West. I'm designing this game hopefully to get it published and out there so other people can get it and play it. But I designed it to be simple so that people who have never played tabletop role-playing games before can get it, and because everybody has a frame of reference for the Old West. So if they get it, they should be able to read into it and within a couple of hours be running Outlaw Trails. Not just playing, but running. So I designed it to be very, very simple. So I hope you keep an eye out for it, and I hope you get it and I hope you like it. All right. Political plots. As a dungeon master, it is your job to create adventures for your players. It's your job to create the plots, the non-player characters, the storyline, everything around the player characters which create the scenarios wherein the players use their characters to affect the outcome, hopefully in a manner which benefits them. In the small scale, your player characters want to survive, thrive, and become more powerful, physically and mystically. Possibly politically, too. I don't know. In the process, they probably want to become wealthy and prosperous. This is the beginning scenarios where they slay bandits and monsters and gather treasure. In the grand scheme, the players probably want to free the oppressed, improve the nation, install a benevolent and just ruler, save the world, possibly install one of their own as the ruler. You never know. But somewhere in the middle, politics will play a part in the lives of your mid-level player characters. That's what this video is about, that middle ground. As a dungeon master, I highly recommend you research the real history of the various royal families. British, French, German, Russian, etc. Even Chinese and Japanese, because it's all politics. Research these royal families throughout the world. Some of the lengths these petty nobles, politicians, and other power players want to achieve, that they went to achieve power, is shockingly and brutally frightening. Sometimes real life trumps fantasy. Here are a few guidelines I go by when I create a political hierarchy in my world. Every politician, royal and military officer, wants power to some degree. All of them, every single one of them wants power. Some value loyalty over ambition, to be sure, but they will all take whatever power they can, whether it's given or taken from others. The more ambitious of these will have plans. These plans are designed to grant them higher position, power, and wealth. Possible avenues include advantageous marriages, plots to eliminate immediate superiors, or plots to replace the ruler, which I guess would be considered treason, wherein the new ruler will advance their position. The specific plans possible are too numerous to list here. I suggest you do some historical research for this. Some of those people were Machiavellian to the extreme. Regardless, in order for such a plan to exist at all, there has to be a political hierarchy in the region. I've done videos on in-game politics, beginning a campaign, tolls and fees, governments, the free market, world building, population centers, fortress defense, siege warfare, palliating paladins, coups and rebellions, challenging your players, time in game, villains, religious religions, medieval life, campaign requirements, and a plethora of other aspects which lie within or adjacent to this topic. I suggest listening to them all. Rather than rehash all of that information here, I'll go into the basics of the organization. Each nation has a capital city and a number of smaller cities. Excuse me. Each of these is generally a provincial capital containing a number of towns. Each town is surrounded by a number of villages. It's like a grand pyramid scheme. The ruler, the king, the maharaja, whatever, is at the capital. The dukes, led by the archduke at the capital, rule the cities. And the archduke doesn't necessarily have to be at the capital, but that's generally the way it is. If for whatever reason the archduke doesn't get along with the king, he could be in a different city. The towns are ruled by barons, or the equivalent thereof. Each of these political or royal entities has a number of underlings that work for them. The military is ultimately under the command of the ruler, but each city and town has a sizable force stationed there. The officers in command, generals, colonels, captains, etc., answer to their superiors, of course, but may have working deals or relationships with the local politicians or rulers. Remember, they all want more. Generally, the field marshal runs the military from the capital. Each city, including the capital, has at least one general who commands an army. Towns have colonels in charge, and each colonel commands several companies. Each company is commanded by a captain. This is an example, of course, and you can organize it however you want. A duke, for example, may want to rule. He therefore will want to sway the local military leaders to his cause. Knights come in a variety of flavors. Royal knights are loyal to the king. Noble knights are loyal to the lesser nobles, the counts, the dukes, some appointed title, whatever. Then there are the lesser orders of knighthood. Some local decides a niche needs to be filled and has the funding to organize a local order to fill that need. Some of those orders may not mesh well with the greater orders, and so friction ensues. For example, Marigold Nightstrider is tired of the local city guard not keeping the peace. Dead bodies are all polluting the river and causing diseases, which the local temples cannot keep in check. She forms the Knights of the Order of the Cudgel. Then she hires 20 tough guys who swear allegiance to her and her cause, and then act as a vigilante force patrolling the city and preventing violence. Sounds reasonable. The problem is it makes the city guard look bad. It makes the local nobility look bad. It puts pressure on the local assassins and thieves guilds who find it more difficult to ply their respective trades. The local magistrate, governor, and military will look bad. All of these, and possibly more, will want to put the kibosh on this new order of knighthood, and these minor orders are everywhere. Some are loyal to the nobles and or each other, but most have their own agenda. How you do that is up to you, but it's a way to create a playing field for your character, for your player characters it gives them things to do. We'll just put it that way. It creates more. I hate to say this, in tabletop role-playing games, manufactured drama can be a good thing. Anyway, as for religion, while not so prevalent, many holy men want more power as well. After all, if a religious leader is the ruler, that just makes everything better, doesn't it? Some religious leaders are swayed by a lust for gold and or power, while some are more altruistic, but the effect is the same. Seeing the hold the religious factions have over the populace, no ruler in his right mind would dare to anger them or ostracize them from the picture. Creating a hierarchy for political purposes is a daunting task. Start with the immediate area the player characters are in and expand it bit by bit over the weeks, trying to anticipate what would be needed. That way it's not such a burden on you. It's going to be a burden no matter what, but you want to start with what they're going to need right away, and that way as the story develops and you know what they're going to do, you can create the political hierarchy around it so that they know how it's going to affect them. I've been doing this a long time. There's no way to anticipate everything, but if you use this situation here, create the basics, like start with a ruler, and then do the dukes and the barons and like that control the cities, and then start with the immediate area they're in and expand from there with the little power players. That's what I would do, and that's what I really usually do, and it works pretty well. I hope these videos help. I really do. And again, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your game. I'm trying to give you advice on how to make your game better. And feel free to use, abuse, ignore, or change whatever you need from what I say. The ultimate goal is that your players have fun. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all. Vanguard 1, Devo Polan, a scientific representative from a pacifist race called the Gandhiri, has come to Earth to learn the one thing that humans do better than anyone else in the galaxy: to fight. In the sequel, Task Force Terminus, Earth is at war with an alien race called the Imdola. Devo Polan's new commission in the Terran fleet exposes him to bigotry and treachery, and he comes to realize that sometimes political and military maneuvering are one and the same.